one thing that I found myself doing was constantly asking my guides for advice. And when I had a problem, something that obviously was not a problem, it was something that I needed to work through, something I needed to experience, I would be asking my guidance to speak to me and to give me, in a clairaudient format, the answers to what I'm looking for and what's the outcome going to be. And if I didn't like the first one, I'd rephrase it and ask again, and then rephrase it and ask again. And I was actually getting the information coming through, and it was like there was a field that they just could not come through. But then it opened up to any nefarious entity that wanted to come in. I mean, what's the mechanics there, Andrew? Is it your guides just go, right, do you know what, just let him have it because he's not fucking paying attention?
So we run into a very different process there. When one begins to abuse the guide for information, they're no longer your guide. That's why it's hijackable. And there's a fine line where the guide is going, stop, 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 or you're going to get hijacked until they're hijacked, even if it's just by an internal program in you that is aware that it's just got hijacked, which might bid away to external sources. Because many of your internal sources work with external sources and they haggle all the time for control. You get me this entity, I'll make sure you get 2 hours a day with his girlfriend. Okay? And you better make some misery for us. Okay? Because if he isn't miserable, we ain't going to control him.
Yeah.
I need you to make sure his foot goes in his mouth a dozen times during that 2 hours, or you say something that's not supposed to happen, so on and so forth. So they often contract and haggle. So when you ask your guide for everything, it just says you don't believe in yourself. You have no trust in yourself, and doubt has beaten out your willpower.
And I remember the violet flame, I use it not often now and then, but the overuse of the violet flame, that was a big one in the light working days, where every day just violet flame. Go ahead.
I still get people asking me, what do you mean by burning things out with the violet flame? Oh my God, you were never around in 2014? Every light worker in the world was running around with a violet flame, torching every building, every entity, anything that was energy, they were hosing it with a violet flame like napalm in Vietnam. Okay? They've scorched earth everything.
And then it became a habit. They were Saint Germain.
Yeah, they all thought they were Saint Germain.
I remember you said that. I think one of the last times I spoke to you, and you on like a set, like kind of like a session atmosphere, was you'd asked me to use a violet flame. I remember one of my light worker like memories came. I was like, oh fuck! Remember this one, like 2012.
There's a lot of people who have gotten over paranoia, but not over the copium mechanisms paranoia has created. Copium, like opium, is you're sucking on a mechanism to give you the ability to cope with it, but it doesn't actually give you the ability to cope with it. It's placebo. And oftentimes it's the sugar pill that doesn't work. And that's when you take massive ego hits from hijacked entities.
Yeah.
When you know it. You knew it from day one and you're like, yeah, I can't be bothered.